We know that metahumans have existed in the new DC universe for well over 300 years, and in the film there is a revelation of a dozen or more heroes that are clearly highlighted on the mural of the Justice Gang's headquarters. So in this video, we're going to talk about one by one who they are and how they're presented. If you saw Superman this past week and you of course were paying attention, and thank God for people online who did the thing you shouldn't do and whipped out their phones to try to get a couple of scenes, chances are that if you were paying attention before the quick blink and you miss it type of moments, that you might have seen a reference to tons of superheroes that already exist in the universe. Now, of course, the film doesn't shy away from this. They established that the first metahumans on Earth appeared about 300 years ago, and when we get to the Hall of Justice, where the Justice Gang is taking the old hall and transforming it into their new HQ, there are murals all around them, and during one sequence, they quickly pan around, and somebody managed to have their phone out, which they shouldn't in a theater, and some of these photos and videos that they took leaked. So we got an idea of characters that appear in the film, in these murals, that are confirmed to exist in the DC universe. So let's go down the list. So first up is Jay Garrick, the original Flash. He is clearly seen in the mural as his suit and the red and the lightning bolt sticks out like a sore thumb. Everybody knows and recognizes him. He's 100% there. Next up is Wildcat, more than likely Ted Grant, but again, it's just a mural, so we don't really know. He was, for a long time, of course, associated with the Justice Society of America, the JSA, and it looks like the mural does confirm that some version of the team did exist, hence why now they're the Justice Gang, and gonna get their final form of the Justice League. This character has appeared in Smallville, he's appeared on the Arrowverse, so I think people know who Wildcat is. How about Super Chief? Character I didn't even know existed, that goes all the way back to 1961. Yeah, from what I've read, a little bit that I've read, it seems like a pretty cool character, and looks like there's a whole unique spin to his character and who he is and how he dates back to the Wolf Clan of the 15th century. Honestly, this got me intrigued to read more about him, so I'm going to do that over the next couple of weeks and see if he becomes my next boy in a stable of loser characters I absolutely love, like Kazar. Speaking of character nobody likes or cares about, hey, you guys like Shining Knight, aka Sir Justice? Because yeah, he existed, which again, yeah, throwback character, makes sense. And he's joined by Silent Knight, who also exists. You can tell what type of characters they are. I don't need to explain it. There's also Gunfire, a high-tech, vigilante-ish type of character, but I would say a little bit more heroic in nature, but the way he completes his missions are a little questionable. Either way, though, he's quickly depicted on the mural as well. And yeah, he's got all sorts of Rob Liefeld vibes to him, let's put it that way. We then have the Atomic Knight and or the Atomic Knights. Now, they've been retold throughout history, different iterations. It's a old school character that dates all the way back to the 60s, and they are a team of, you guessed it, knights, known as the Atomic Knights, and, their story is rather interesting. They fought the Who's Who's and the different members of the Justice League and so forth, and they've been around for quite a while. The Atomic Knight himself does specifically wear this, war suit that grants him super strength, super speed, the grab bag of generic superhero powers, if you will. Okay, now you guys remember Vibe from the CW, from The Flash and the Arrowverse? He's in this. Well, not specifically this version of Vibe, obviously, but the character of Vibe appears here, and yeah, obviously the character of Cisco, he's become more prominent and popular over the last decade or so, specifically because of the CW, but you can quickly see him on the wall in the mural using his Vibe powers as they're depicted on there. pretty cool to see the character who has a legacy going back to the early 80s. We also got Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate, never a character that's missing from any type of lineup like this. You know, as far back as Smallville, when he started to dabble into expanding the universe, Dr. Fate was right there at the forefront. He always gets this type of highlight. Of course, most recently, he did appear in live action as he was prominent in Black Adam. But the less we say about that film and every character in there, the better. But yeah, Dr. Fate makes sense. Highly associated most of the time with the Justice Society of America, so this checks out. Then there is the character of Freedom Beast, aka Dominic Mendu. Hopefully I said that right. Going all the way back to the late 80s. It's a character with super strength, healing factor, and animal control and fusion. And he's a character I've seen before. Never looked too much more into him. I know he appeared in an episode of Titans, the live action TV series that lasted almost 50 episodes and 4 seasons on DC TV. That's really the extent I know about him, but I've seen him before and sounds like and looks like a cool character, but I'm not really sure overall. There's also Black Pirate. Guess what his gimmick is? Take a guess. Oh wait, you didn't guess? Incorporeal ghost form? What? You thought I was just a pirate? Get out of here. Believe it or not, this is a character dating back to the 1940s. It's one of DC's oldest characters. Now, I joked about him being a pirate, but he actually is. He was a pirate back in the 16th century, working for the king, had a strong ethical and moral code. Eventually, he would come back, and obviously the ghost form comes into it, and he plays a pretty big part in a couple of interesting stories and does cross paths with some of the other DC heroes you might be familiar with. How about another Green Lantern? Alan Scott is clearly depicted on the mural. Again, much like Dr. Fate, every time you're doing the Justice Society, he's typically a member of it. He's here. Alan Scott makes sense. You know, he's a fan favorite Green Lantern from the bygone era of Green Lanterns. I think that's the best way to put it. And this is before Green Lantern was reinvented. And then once they made everything sort of fold in, just like Jay Garrick, they were like, oh yeah, they always existed. Crisis, multiverse, shenanigans, things like that. But cool to see Alan Scott every time. So Dolphin. Now, if you've been a member of this channel for any amount of time, you know I absolutely love the aquatic characters, Aquaman and Namor being two of my favorite comic book characters of all time. I love all the fish people for whatever reason, so Dolphin is a pull, but yeah, she's here. Another fish lady, why not? And why not include Amethyst? Yeah, she's here depicted. Crystal manipulation, crystal generation, empowers crystals, has magic. Yeah, pretty cool little character that's been around for a long time, again, since the early 80s. So yeah, that's the characters that line the wall of the Hall of Justice that the Justice Gang hangs out in. So a lot of back history already provided by this film and the universe, and I really think it's cool, and I like what they're doing here. I hope we see a lot of these characters pop up in live action and be referenced more directly, especially Dolphin. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.